Habakkuk prayed to God to do something. Excuse me. And he prayed to God to do something. My guess you've been there too. Lord, do something. I don't care what it is, do something. So Brandon Heath says, yeah, I did something. I made you. Praying to God to heal. And yet there's death. Praying to God to end racism. And yet it continues. Praying to God to heal your marriage, and it still ends in divorce. J. Vernon, the McGee wrote, he says, Habakkuk begins with a question mark and ends with an exclamation point. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to end it in that exclamation point. Like I said, it's only 3 chapters and 56 verses. I've challenged everybody to go ahead and read it. In many ways, this is a very, very modern book. Let's look at issue 1. Issue 1 is unanswered prayer. My guess is you can identify with that. In verse 2, he says, how long, O Lord, must I cry out for help? The words used from the ancient text are cry out. Thanks, Brad. Is that like TV that he gets paid for coming on screen? You know, I don't know. I'll double his salary. How long must I cry out? And that cry, the word used, is just like pleading, begging, just down on your knees. But you do not listen. Or cry out to you, violence, but you do not save. Consider the things going on in our world now. Could we not take Habakkuk's request? Warfare, murder, corruption in high places, sexual, the perversion, looting, and robbery. Those same things were happening in Habakkuk's day. And the church was kind of like, well, you know, we ought to just, well, you know. We don't really want folks to be mad at us. We don't want folks to not like us. As he surveys the evil on every hand, he cried out to God, how can you let this go on? Can you imagine God going, excuse me, aren't you part of that mess? Can you see today God's looking at us, hey, aren't you part of this mess? Aren't you part of, well, you know, I'm going to look the other way because, you know, people got to do what they got to do. Really? That's not what God says.